Okay, we are live on YouTube and on Instagram. There we go. As we always do, I'm going to give it a couple minutes for everybody to get logged on here. Welcome back to our daily live feed. And if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. I'm realizing my face looks really shiny right now. I've been using this hyaluronic acid on my skin, which is great for hydration. I'm looking a little dewy, but it's all good. How's prep coming along? It is coming along. I'll actually answer that question. That's a good question. I'm going to give a couple of people give a couple of minutes for people to get logged on, and then I'll start answering questions that come in. So if you guys want to go ahead and type in questions, you're welcome to do that. I have a few written down here that came into my stories earlier, so I will answer those. And these are questions that you can ask of me personally, or you can ask of stage presence, suits, posing, anything, training. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a coach. So that's not my area of expertise, but I can give you my 2 cents as far as, my beliefs and things like that. Whatever. So this is an open forum. And like I said, I'll kind of start answering some of the questions once we've been on for a couple of minutes here. And I might get your mind working. So if there's anything that you ever wanted to ask me, or maybe you just didn't get a chance to during one of the lives or something like that, now's your opportunity. So I am in my final week of prep to go back on stage. So I am exhausted. So I do have my final energy drink right here. After this, there will be no more energy drinks. Boo. Please get me through the day. I only have one a day. This is actually like half that I've left from the gym earlier. So I only have one a day. Not terrible. Where's it feel like you're stage ready? That's a good question. Thank you on the good lucks. Appreciate it. I'm going to give it another minute and then we'll get started here. What's up, New York Pro? I know, right? So if you guys didn't see it already, I did announce that I'm doing New York Pro next week. If you go on to NPC News Online, there is my interview with JM up on NPC News. It's actually just the last half of it. We talked for a half an hour, so JM only put up half the interview, which is probably a good thing because we talked nonstop. So, but go check that out. Leave a little comment there, all of that. I'll talk a little bit about that too. And now that we've been on for a few minutes, I'll go ahead and start answering some questions. So go ahead and type in any questions you might have. And I'm going to go kind of scroll back and start at the beginning. So the first question that came in was, how's prep coming along? Which, good. One of the biggest things that I have had issues with as far as my prep is concerned in the past is I get skinny really fast. I drop muscle really fast. I drop my glutes really fast. I'm a long, tall girl. It's very easy for me to drop weight, which is not a good thing in bodybuilding. So, looking at my screen here for YouTube. Hopefully let's see what's going on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So anyway, we've gone relatively slow through this prep because, again, like I've mentioned a few times in my posts and things like that, we are playing the long game, meaning we're not doing just one show and then done. My plan is to qualify for Olympia. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to put in the work. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to compete. So I cannot be peeling muscle off really fast. So this prep has been very good. It's been slow and steady, like really steady. I lose about a pound a week, which is right on where we should be. And all of that. So I'll kind of go into, that was one of the questions that came into was do you personally feel like you're stage ready? Yes and no. I feel like I have a few more pounds to go, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm close. Every week I get a little bit closer. But I feel like I'm probably going to hit my peak on my physique a little bit later in the season. I think I'm gonna look okay this coming week. I think I'm gonna be ready this coming week. I think I'm gonna look good. It's probably been my best package that I've ever brought to the stage, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't think it's gonna be my best ever by the time I get through my season. I think I'm gonna get better as I go. So yes, I feel like I am almost stage ready to get on stage next week, but I don't feel like it's going to be my peak. I feel like I'm going to get better as I compete this year. So thank you for the good luck. Almost go time. Yes, I'm excited to get on stage. As a posing coach, do you feel extra pressure for your performance and presentation? No, I used to. The last time that I competed, yes, absolutely, I felt that pressure. Now I don't, because I don't have anything to prove. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I can't say I'm not going to screw up. I may screw up. That's very, very possible that I could screw up, but that's part of the show. That's part of the competition. You know what I mean? So I have not been on stage for almost 4 years. I'm going to have to shake some nerves off, all of those kinds of things, just like everybody else. I'm going to have to work through hiccups, I'm sure, but I'm going to work through them. I mentioned this on my interview with JM. I am more confident now than I've ever been in my life, just in general, in regard to everything, not just competing, but just in regard to everything. So I feel like I'm going to turn on when I get on stage. And the reason why I say that too is because I did pose for JM too while I was at the NPC photo gym. And that was the most confident I have ever been in my life, posing in front of other people, in front of JM of all people. I was more confident there than I am when I'm posing by myself. When I posed for Jamie in Pittsburgh this past weekend, more confident there than I am even when I'm posing by myself. It's almost like something has flipped in me where when I get in front of people, I turn on and it's better. So no, in that regard, I don't feel pressure. And I will be honest, I used to feel a lot of pressure in the past. But honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm going to have fun and I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to perform. And that's what I'm going to do. And if I screw up, I screw up. It is what it is, but I'm going to work through it and I'm going to be me, you know? What kind of covering do you like for after tan? So anything that's loose and baggy, nothing with seams. I do have warm-ups that I sell that I love, that are big and baggy, and just in general, you don't want it touching you too much. Drawstrings are always good because like elastic can leave marks, seams can leave marks, zippers can leave marks. So you got to make sure that whatever you have on is loose, and I make sure that I'm covered from head to toe. You know, people have always asked me to do robes and stuff for show day. I don't like robes because they don't cover you completely. All it takes is one little splash of water and it runs your tan. So I like things that can completely cover you. So that's my 2 cents as far as that's concerned. Loose, black, big clothes, basically. Let's see. I'm so excited for you. You're amazing. Black suits. Why are they a rare see on stage? As far as black suits on stage, it's very hard to pull that off. You have to have the right attitude. You have to have the right vibe for it. Just like red's the same way. You gotta have the right vibe for red. But it's not color. Like when you're doing your tan and your hair and your makeup, all of that stuff is pretty neutral, meaning it should just kind of flatter you and your skin tone, your eyes, your hair color, all those kinds of things. So when you put another neutral, which would be a black has no color, there's nothing there that really pops, right? So your attitude has to make it pop. I personally wouldn't put anybody in black that has dark hair. The only person that I would put in a pure black suit would be blonde, because you need color, and she's got color to her hair. You know what I mean? Or a redhead. Redhead could do black too. I've done black. I won my pro card in black. Last time I was on stage, it was in black. But my bling on top was colored. So like when I won my pro card, my figure suit was covered in blue and yellow and pink and all of that. So it was covered in colored crystals. And my last suit that I wore on stage was black with pink stones on it. So it came off as a pink or a reddish color on stage, not black. So those are the ways I think you can get away with black. Other than that, unless you have a really killer personality, like India Polino used to wear black all the time, and she has a super killer stage presence on stage, she can get away with it. But most people can't, because for that reason, you just kind of fade into the background and you don't stand out and pop, right? I'm excited for me too. Thanks. General suit question. I'll be competing in October. How far in advance should I get my suit order in with you? Also, are you cool choosing color of suit for person? Oh, okay, yes. So suits have to be 8 weeks out. 8 weeks out is when we start the suit process. You can start sooner than that, but I need 8 weeks. Especially when we're in busy seasons. And right now, plus the fall, are our busiest seasons of the year. So make sure I have at least 8 weeks. 8 weeks is when you take your measurements and get you set up to go. And yes, I do. 99% of the girls that I work with, I choose their colors for them. So they'll tell me colors that they're interested in, and I'll tell them yes or no. And then I'll kind of pick the shades and things like that for them as well. That's one of the reasons why people hire me in the first place, because I know what I'm looking at and I can give you guidance and tell you what is going to look good on you. So yes, absolutely. I have no problem with that. Will you be driving to New York for your show? No, I am taking the train. So one of the good things about being where I live now is I'm about 10 minutes from the train station, and the train up to New York is actually faster than driving. And if you take into account the time that you have to go through security and stuff like that, it's about the same time as flying. So I will be taking the train up, which I am super excited about, because I can get up and I can walk around. I don't have to be stuck in a seat. I can take as much luggage as I want. Well, not as much as I want, but a lot, because your bags are included. So I'm really excited about that. I've taken the train to New York before, and it's a really enjoyable experience. And my ticket was only $29. So I was like, okay, so I am flying home on Sunday. And the reason why I'm flying home is because there was only 3 train times on Sunday, and they were in the afternoon. And I want to take the time on Sunday to go into the city and kind of, shop and do the touristy thing and all that stuff. I haven't been to New York since I did Fashion Week, and that was before all of the COVID situation and stuff. So I am flying home that night, just because of the time. That's all. But I'm taking the train. And then I don't have to worry about water retention or anything like that either. That's another reason why I'm taking the train up. Because again, I can get up, I can walk around. I don't have to worry about flight, water retention, or anything like that. Can't wait for my suit. You suggested pink for me. That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm. You were spot on with mine. Just got it in the mail today. Awesome. Yay. Love that. Yay. I want to see pictures. Awesome. Love the train. Yeah, I do too. Like, that's one of the great things about living in the DC area, is that we have a ton of options when it comes to traveling. So I know that flight prices and things like that have been rough this year, as far as travel is concerned. But I mean, I have like 3 different airports I can choose from. I have the train. I have all sorts of transportation things I can choose from here, which is fantastic. And most cities don't even have that option. So I'm actually really happy about that. Where my new house is when it comes to traveling, it's equidistant to two different airports. My brain is like so slow right now. Sorry. It's equidistant to 2 airports. Plus, I could go to Baltimore if I wanted to, but there's no point in driving to Baltimore. That's an extra like 20 minutes past either one of these 2 airports, and the lower airfare isn't worth it, though Baltimore is cheaper. But anyway, so I'm excited about taking the train. I wish I could take the train more often. I wish that I could go to more places on the train, because I actually really like it. So it's comfortable. I can take all my bags with me, and I don't have to drive. It's fantastic. So there's that. So keep the questions coming as we're talking. I've got a few written down here. I'm going to go ahead and go into those next. But keep asking questions, anything that you want. We've already covered some suit color questions, suit choice questions, posing questions, those kinds of things. So as you're logging on, if there's anything that you want to ask me, you can ask me about my prep and stuff like that too, whatever you want to ask. Will your husband go with you for your show? No, not at this one. So he usually comes with me to 1 show a year when I have competed like a lot. He'll come with me to one of them. And it's one that we can turn into a vacation where we'll stay for like a couple extra days, that kind of thing. Like he came with me to Hawaii. We stayed for a week. He came with me when I did Sacramento, and we stayed for a week, went to Napa, wine country, all of that. So we'll do that kind of thing. But honestly, I'm that kind of person that when I compete, I need to be by myself. I get really annoyed really quickly. I'm like, I need my space. I need my bed. I need quiet. I need everything to be dark. I need everybody to just stop talking to me. I just need my space, my space alone. So a great example is the last show that I did was Sacramento, and my husband did fly in for that show. And he came in on Friday night. I was already in bed and tanned up, ready to go for Saturday morning by the time he got in on Friday night. And he got in and was like messing around with stuff and like turned ESPN on and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I just need to go to sleep. I'm like, can you just turn the TV off and go to sleep? Like that kind of thing. When I compete, I can't have roommates. I can't do it. I have to have my space. Sleep is so important when you compete. I can't have that stuff screwed up. Just can't do it. Can't do it. When we went to Hawaii, he was like texting me pictures from the pool while he's drinking, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm sitting here in the room with my feet up, and you're sending me pictures of you with freaking pina coladas and crap in the pool. I'm like, no. No. Let's see. The same way I need to be by myself. Absolutely. I need to be by myself too. I'm fine when I'm like backstage and hanging out with people at the show, but like when I'm in my room, that's my zone. That's me. Leave me alone. Just let me do my thing. I take my time doing my hair and makeup. Like that's my time. That's me, Totally get that 100%, right? Yeah. Get annoyed easily. Absolutely. We talked about bloating and artificial sweeteners. Do you feel like stevia bloats you too? Yes and no. I think I mentioned this to you on our session yesterday. So I do put a stevia water flavoring into my water, which actually it's sitting right here. I ripped the thing off though, you can't tell. So, but anyway, this is water flavor. It's stevia. And I actually put too much of this in my water yesterday and it did bloat me. So yes and no. Like if I don't do a lot of it, I'm fine. Like I put a little bit of it in my water today and I was totally fine. No bloating, no problems, anything like that. But yesterday, absolutely had too much in there. And it messed with my stomach. But stevia is way better than like sucralose and things like that. And like you mentioned, the gum chewing. Guys, let me just put this out there right now. If you're having issues with bloating and stuff like that while you're in prep and you're chewing gum, get rid of the gum. Get rid of the gum. Okay. Gum is really like, it's one of those things that ignites cravings because of the artificial sweeteners. And I understand that you're using it to kind of try to curb hunger and stuff like that, but it's actually having the opposite effect. When I take the gum out, I have zero cravings. I have no problem. I don't want anything. When I have gum in, it makes me want more sweet stuff. So I just get rid of the gum, and plus the chewing of that creates gassiness and bloat. So if you're having issues with that, get rid of the gum. I'm telling you, gum is a problem. It's a big problem. So yeah, get rid of the gum. Okay, so like I said, as we're going along, keep typing in questions. I've got a few sitting over here, so I'm going to go ahead and read those and answer those too. So this is, like I said, this is your opportunity to ask any questions that you have, may it be stage presence, posing, suits, whatever. How long has your prep been? I saw you last year at Nashville Fit Show. It's been so fun to watch you transform on the internet. So I've been building for this show for over a year and a half. I started cutting in December. So I hit my all-time high weight and all of that in December. And I've come down about 20 pounds at this point. So I feel like I still have a little bit to go. I have like 2 or 3 more pounds to come off me, which is mostly water retention and things like that, inflammation, which should dissipate this coming week. Hopefully. But yes, I've been prepping for a long time. We did that on purpose because I needed to retain the muscle that I built. When you're in the process of building muscle, and again, I have a very long frame. I'm very tall. I need to be quite a bit bigger than most people. I don't have the smallest waistline, so because my waistline isn't that tiny, I do need to build bigger around it, and I need to be fuller in order to be able to be competitive against some of these smaller girls. It's all about perspective and proportions, right? So I do need to be bigger than a lot of these girls. So with that, I need to retain as much muscle as I can. And that means no crash dieting, no really hard dieting, no really hard cardio. My intensity has to come from training, has to come from lifting in the gym, and I have to keep my food high. And I will say that even though my food is lower now than it's been the whole prep, it's still higher than it ever was with any other coach. So I am with my calories right now where I was in off season with some other coaches. So even though I feel like I'm starving all the time, I'm really not. I'm really not starving at all. Like I said, I'm eating a lot. Like I still have my bagel in the morning. Like tomorrow will be my last bagel in the morning, and then we'll switch to oats. But like I still have my bagel in the morning for breakfast every day. I have a bagel, I have blueberries, and I have like chicken or eggs in the morning for my breakfast. So it's a big breakfast, you know. So like again, going into peak week next week, I'm gonna start pulling anything that has stuff that could potentially be a problem with digestion. So I'll be getting rid of the bagel and putting in oatmeal, that kind of thing, you know. So, but it's because of my size and because I need to keep muscle on my frame in order to look full. I do have to stay bigger. I do have to go slower as far as cutting is concerned. So that's why we started in December and have gone really, really slow. So it's been good. I've retained my shape very, very well. And I'm really seeing my glutes finally starting to come in how I wanted them to come in. And I'm really, really happy about the shape. So I think, you know, like I was saying at the beginning of this, I think I'll hit my peak physique later on in the season. But I'm happy about our trajectory right now. So thoughts on fasted cardio. I think you posted about that before, but I can't remember. So I don't think there's anything magical about fasted cardio. If you like fasted cardio, that's fine. I personally don't. And also, if you're trying to retain muscle, it is not the best idea because when you're doing anything fasted, your body's going to automatically go and pull from your muscle first for energy. So in my scenario, I am under strict restrictions to not do fasted cardio at all. So if that's not a worry for you, then fine, go ahead and do it. But there is no magical property to fasted cardio. Cardio and training in general is related to the effort that you put into it. So if you're going into the gym and just half-assing your training, not doing full, you know, to failure or whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, and not upping the intensity, not doing your rest periods, things like that, that's going to affect you more than worrying about eating before or after you train or do your cardio, right? So it's all about effort. At the end of the day, it's all about effort. And if you're going to push harder on your cardio because you got food in you, put food in you so you can push harder, right? You did awesome. You look phenomenal. Thank you. Good, because I don't like it either, and it's not my plan. There you go. Yeah, no, I don't. I personally, like, again, if you like it and you're not concerned about losing muscle, then okay, sure. But I don't like it. So I'm going to not do it. And I specifically have been told not to do it, right? So I'm good with that. I'd rather have food in me. First thing I do in the morning when I wake up is I have a cup of I have a cup of water first. That's the first thing I do. Then I have a cup of coffee. Once I've had my coffee, then I have my breakfast. So I don't do my cardio until later on in the day. Like I'll do my right now. I do double cardio right now. So right now I do a half hour after I train, and then I do another half hour later. Like I had a break between clients today, so I went and did my second half hour between those two clients. So that's how I did it. Not sure if you asked yet. Will you share your critique of yourself after the show with us? Yeah, of course. And I say that with a caveat of I'm sure there will be things that I'm going to keep confidential between me and my coach, because I always do that. I give you guys a lot of the information that I do, but I don't give you everything. And I don't feel like you should have to feel like you need to give everybody everything. I give you enough of an overview so that you see what I'm going through. But at the same time, I think there is something to be said about keeping things private so that you can work on them yourselves, right? If you don't feel comfortable with sharing your journey or something like that with people, you don't have to, right? That's your business. It's nobody else's. If you feel comfortable with doing it, sure, go ahead. So I say that I will tell you guys some of the things, but there will be things that I will keep to myself and with my coach. That's the whole reason why I have a coach in the first place. That's my sounding board. And sometimes outside opinions can make things muddy, if that makes sense. I'm not going to tell everybody everything because then I'm going to get opinions from everybody, and I don't care. I don't want to hear everybody's opinion. I just don't. So there's certain things that should be kept, I think, to yourself. There's an old saying that my mother-in-law used to say. It's like, if you want to know the story, buy the book. What that basically means is that after I'm dead and gone, you'll read my memoirs and then you'll know everything. Right? There are always going to be things that you guys don't know about me, and vice versa. There should be things that I don't know about you as well, right? I feel like there's something. Oh, with that too, because this spawns onto another topic. I will not be previewing New York Pro because obviously I'm going to be in it. So I don't feel comfortable critiquing other girls that I'm going to be standing next to, nor do I want to. Right? I don't want to critique girls and look at girls that I'm going to be standing next to because that's not what my focus is. My focus is on me. So I will not be previewing New York. I will not be wrapping up New York. Okay. I will give you my personal experience at New York. I will give you, I'll do a whole episode of Bikini Girl and Bodybuilding World. I will do that 100%. But as far as critiquing girls when I'm getting on stage, I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to look at the pro list myself. I mean, I'm sure I'll see it because people will send it to me and tag me in it, I'm sure. But I'm not going to get into that comparison game. Just not going to do it. So, sorry. But that's just the way it's going to go. Okay? So, and I would hope, I just feel like that's just, I don't know. I just feel like that's a little bit, I don't know, in poor taste, I guess. Does that make sense? So I won't be doing that next week. I will try to go live at least once next week to talk to you guys. Maybe do another one of these kinds of things or something like that. Maybe when I'm in New York. I don't know. But I'm not gonna talk about competitors. Just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna ask you to speak of your experience after 4 years. Has to be exciting. That's understandable. Yeah. I just, I want to give everybody the, courtesy, I guess, respect. Right? It's different when you're actually on the stage. Right? So, that's the thing. I think it would be weird. If I was backstage and I had critiqued girls, going into the show, thinking, this is where you're going to place. I think it would be weird to be backstage with them and be like, I think you're going to be out of the top 5. You know what I mean? That would be weird. So thank you. Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been documenting my journey, and I've been documenting my journey for you guys, but also for myself too. I want to be able to go back and look at everything too. So love your integrity. Well, thank you. Thank you. TPP. I don't know what TPP is. But yeah, so it'll be a fun week, and I want to experience it as a competitor too. It's been a long time since I've been on stage, and I want to take the whole experience in as a competitor. I go to these shows all the time for other people, not for myself. So this will be the first time I've gone for myself in almost 4 years. So, pro physique experience. Okay, got it. Didn't know what that was. Okay. So, and that's, here's the other thing. This is why I didn't tell people for a long period of time. I want to go into the show and experience it for myself, and I don't want to have to worry about other people being there. There's a specific reason also that I chose New York, because there's no amateurs. I love you guys. Don't get me wrong. I love everything about you guys. I love being there as your coach, but I want to have the opportunity to focus on me. Like I was saying before, like when somebody asked me if my husband was coming, no, I don't want to focus on him. I want to focus on me. So I chose this show for a reason, for several reasons, as my comeback show. Once I've got this under my belt and I feel more comfortable again and I'm back in the swing of things, then we can talk about everybody coming. But I just want to have a moment. I want to be able to focus on me for a minute. I'm going to be selfish. That's it. I'm going to be selfish. So, let's see. Coach knows you this weekend. Yes. I'll be there too. Yes, girl. Are you going to do your own hair and makeup? Yes, I am doing my own hair and makeup. Boundaries, baby. You have to separate and focus, period. Absolutely. That's exactly it. Let the coach focus on being the competitor for a weekend. That's right. And like I said, like once I get my feet back on the stage and I feel it again, like then I'll be fine. Then y'all can come and hoot and holler and all that kind of stuff. I'll be good to go. No problem. But give me just one weekend. Just give me one weekend. let me just focus on me for a moment. All right. Okay. You deserve your time. Thank you. Yes, I think I do. I think you're right. Competing in New York. Absolutely. Yes. So, okay. If you keep asking questions, you have more questions you want to put in. So one of the questions that somebody wrote into me was about bra tops and wellness, and why I don't like them, because they look like bra tops. That's why I don't like them. Like I've mentioned this several times before. I don't like the bra tops. I don't like my figure either. I don't like them any division, because I just think that they look like bras. So, it's a bikini show. It's a wellness bikini show. So I don't like them. Sandy calls them, they look like pie plates. So that's why. So I've had girls ask me if I'll make them. I don't make them. If that's the look that you want, you're going to have to go to a different suit designer, because I'm not going to do it. So just putting that out there. I've said that several times, but there you go. Just they look like bra tops to me, and that's not the show that we're in. We're in a bikini show, not a bra top show. Victoria's Secret, all my cups are molded, but they're soft cups. Jamie DeBernard is my coach. So I don't like really hard cups either, because again, I just don't think that they're very flattering. But I do molded cups on every one of my suits. Actually, this is my suit sitting right here. So it's a soft top on the inside. So it is a molded cup, but it's soft. So it gives you support, but it looks like a bikini. It doesn't look like a bra. I don't like anything that looks like a bra. I want stuff that looks like a bikini. Right? So there's actually my top sitting right here. Your girl was doing her posing today, so that's why my suit's sitting here. So anyway, one of the questions that came in was, how does it feel to come this far with everything that you do and love, and not just fitness? It feels like I've come far, but not far enough. I always try to celebrate my wins. I always try to celebrate how far I've come. But at the same time, I always see how much further I can go and what opportunities I have in front of me. I'm always trying to be better at everything that I do, no matter what it is. Whether it's being a competitor, a coach, a wife, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to be better at what I do, always. So some people think I've come a long way, which I have. I'm not going to discount that, but I just see how much further I can go and how much more I have to do. So, I do think one of my faults is that I don't sit back and appreciate how far I've come all the time. I'm always I got to push harder kind of person. So I do actually think that's one of my faults, but just how I'm wired. So I've been doing a better job of appreciating how far I've come, but I'm never going to stop pushing to be better at everything. I'm going to be better at everything. Just everything in general. So, so in regard to the nutrition wise, I answered that earlier. You may have answered this, but what made you settle on the red? It's very fitting, but what made you choose it for you? I've done red in the past when I was blonde, and I didn't really like it when I was blonde. I wore it as a brunette now, and it fits my vibe. I've always loved red, regardless. I've always loved red. But for stage, it was not the best look for me as a blonde. Now, with the brunette hair, it's like the look. Actually, when I saw Jamie in Pittsburgh, I had my backup suit and I put it on just so she could see it on me in person. And I walked out and she was like, red. I was like, yeah, I know. It's not a bad suit. It's a blue-green suit. It's a pretty suit, all of that, but it's just not my vibe. My vibe is the red now. So this is what it is. Once you find your vibe, you find your vibe. That's my vibe. So red siren, yes. Must-haves in your show day bag. Common things competitors forget. 2 of everything. No matter what you're doing, always bring 2 of everything. 2 suits, 2 shoes, 2 jewelry, 2 everything. A towel to sit on. That's something. Sometimes you go to these shows, you have nothing to sit on. A towel to sit on, flip-flops. Like I mentioned, something to put over your tan. Always have extra food. Always have makeup for touch-ups. And that's about everything. And you can even bring a pillow to sit on. I bring my pillow that I sleep on. I bring my pillow with me everywhere I go because I can't sleep without my pillow. So that's actually in my bag. It's my pillow. So those kinds of things. Pump-up bands. Stuff like that. Is this your only show or are you planning a string of shows? A string. Just depends on how they go. So I have a bunch that are on my radar, but I'm not committing to any of them until after New York. And I'm going to take them one at a time, depending on how my body's responding to stuff. That's the Virgo in you. Yes, it is. Absolutely. I agree on you. Yes. General coaching question. Do pros coach pros? Posing and or prep and are in the same division, or is that usually when someone starts to work with someone who doesn't compete? Trying to kind of understand that question, but the basic gist is yes, pros coach pros. If a coach is a good coach, they're a good coach, period. So I hope that answers that question. I don't know. It's a little bit, I'm having a hard time understanding the back half of that question. No, I hope that answers that. But yes, pros coach pros, 100%. I pose tons of pros. So I know a lot of pros actually coach pros as well. Tan lookout. Yes. Fishing line. Yes, fishing line. Yes, always bring fishing line. With the nicknames, yes. Do you or do you not do the same as shows? Same shows. Sorry, I'm kind of confused on your questioning here. Maybe you could rewrite that because I'm not sure what you mean. Aurelia, I'm not really sure. Siren, yes, fishing. Yes, fishing line. So fishing line is always a must to have in your bag because if you break a connector, you can tie it together with fishing line and you will never see it because it is clear. For example, if Jazzy was coaching someone who was also a judo, yeah. I mean, as a coach, who cares? Like, I don't care which show I'm going into. I'm going to coach my athlete to be the best athlete possible. And then I'm going to be the best athlete possible too. There's like many Olympians whose coaches who do not compete. Well, because a lot of times coaches are so focused on coaching that they don't compete and vice versa. Competitors are so focused on competing that they don't coach. But if you are a good coach and you're a professional coach, you should want your clients to win. I would want my client to try to beat me personally, right? What I don't want to happen, let's say Jasmine and I both go into the same show and I've been helping her with her posing, right? I don't want to go into that show and us to both suck. That's not what I want. I want us to both kick ass, right? Because for me as a competitor, that's great. And for me as a coach, that's great, right? And bottom line is, guys, coaching pays the bills, competing does not. So as a coach, I'm going to make sure my competitors do well because that's what puts food on my table, right? I want to level up. Iron sharpens iron, right? If I'm doing great, I want them to do great too. Because at the end of the day, I want them to perform at their best because that's what we have control over. I don't have control over what the judges are going to pick that day. But what I do have control over is how I perform and how my clients perform. And I want us both to perform well. I want us to dominate, right? So I don't know. If you're not a professional coach, then I suppose that would be a problem, but not for me. Hell, I want my clients to beat me. I've done that before. I've been in shows with my posing clients and they beat me. And I'm good with that. Like I said, that's what puts food on my table. You go on and beat me. Right? Like, just saying. At the end of the day, I can't compete if I can't pay for it. So that's why I say, like, I'm a coach first before I am a competitor. That's why I like this. That's, again, going back to one of the big reasons why I chose New York as my first show, because I want to be able to have my own time where I don't have to worry about coaching somebody else. And just so that I can get that first show back under my belt, and then I'll be good. I'll be fine. But I just want to have one weekend where I don't have to worry about it, basically. Right? Bad business to sabotage your own clients, I would think. Right, exactly. Why would I do that? I want my clients to beat me, or at least at least do well. You know what I mean? I don't want my clients to suck. That would be terrible. I want them to do the best they possibly can. I'm just saying, that would be stupid. And I'll be honest, there are coaches out there that are stupid, that do sabotage. Like, that does happen. But they're shitty coaches to begin with. So if they do that, then you obviously know they're a shitty coach. You know what I mean? Like, all right, there's a checkbox. We know they're off the list, right? I don't know. Me personally, I want my clients to kick ass. Okay, other questions. Keep going. I've got a couple more here. I'll finish these out, and then if you guys have more, then I'll answer your questions. Suit colors that are no-nos was one of the questions that came in, and that's any neutrals, like I was mentioning before. Browns, golds, silvers, bad choices. Orange is bad choice. There are some dark-skinned girls that can get away with orange, but other than that, leave it off stage. And it's going to be a risk. Regardless of who you are, what your skin tone is, orange is going to be a risk. But stay away from neutrals. You want pops. Pops of color. We talked about this on the live streams when we do the live stream commentary. Pop of blue. We want a pop of blue. There's lots of pops of blue. There's a reason why a lot of people wear blue, because it works for everybody. So we want color. And the last question that I have written down here is the biggest mistakes that amateurs make posing. And this one is something that has been happening this year a lot. And that is that y'all are watching videos of pros too much. Stop it. You're not a pro. This has been happening to almost every one of my brand new posing clients. We'll have like one posing session, right? I'll teach them the front and back pose, transition pose, that kind of thing. Tell them to go practice that. They'll come back in a couple of weeks and they've got a whole routine put together that is fucking terrible. Because what did they do? They took those poses and then they went online on Instagram and YouTube and started posing like Laura Lee. Well, you are not Laura Lee, right? You are you, and you are a Pee-wee football player. So stop posing like the pros, because that is not what you are, right? That is the biggest mistake that I see girls make right now. It's wonderful that we have so much more access to pros now and pro shows and things like that. That's fantastic. I love that aspect of it. But please take your posing step by step, one by one. Because what happens then is you come onto your posing session and you've done all this fucked up shit, and I have to undo it all. I have to undo it all. So it makes my job harder. It makes it harder on you. It makes it harder on everyone. So just take it one step at a time. That is the biggest mistake that I'm seeing amateurs make across the board right now. Too much sass, not enough technique. That's right. You know. I've told you. I'm like, I get that you want to put the sass in there. I understand that. That will come. But the technique and the steps and the poses have to be first. You have to crawl before you can run. Have to crawl before you can run. Because guess what? You get judged in your poses. Yes, the transitions are important. Yes, the sass is important. But when you're standing there in that front pose has to be solid as they're comparing you next to everybody else. Same thing with your back pose. It has to be solid. Because that's where the judging takes place. I'm getting better week by week, right? Yes. Trying to break bad habits. Yes. Humbled. I've seen this being at all the shows. They are trying to walk to the back and the routines keep getting longer and longer. Basics matter. Yes. Girl, oh my God. I've been seeing that too. These NPC girls going and doing these walks and these T-walks and stopping at the top of the box and walking down in. Stop. You are NPC. Your routine should take you 12 seconds. That's it. Get off stage. The more that you pose, the more opportunity the judges have to see flaws. You don't have a Laura Lee physique. You are an amateur. Get off stage. A great example of this is Ashley Kaltwasser. Ashley knows that posing is her weakness. So what does she do when she gets on stage? She goes on stage, she hits her really strong poses, she does not do a walk to the back curtain, she turns around and she walks off stage. And this is a girl who has won the Olympia 3 times. She knows her strengths and her weaknesses. Leading by example right there. As an amateur, you should never be doing more. You should be trying to do less. You should be trying to do less. Once I got the technique, the sass came natural. That's right. This is what I try to tell people too when it comes to the sass. Like, your sass and your confidence comes from you knowing that you're hitting your poses right. When you know that you're hitting your poses correctly and solid, that's what makes you confident. And that's what comes across. I don't give a shit what your hands are doing. But if you're standing there in your pose and you're solid and you're strong, you're confident. Right? Yes, New York Pro is a tier 1 show. Yes, it is. Yep. I blame the Bronx. That's too funny. Yep. No, and I get it. I understand. You want to put that attitude in there, but I'm telling you, man, that works when you're just at a posing clinic and you're just playing around and messing around. Absolutely. But you got nobody there sitting there judging your physique at that time. They are judging your physique. They're judging your physique. I promise, I tell this to people all the time too. I promise you, you are never going to show the judges something that they have never seen before. They've seen it all. Just show them what they want to see. That's it. And get off stage. The hands, I'm focusing a little on that. Yeah. Just simple, guys. Simple always is better. KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple. Okay. Who's the next athlete Facebook meeting? I was just thinking about that today. Probably once I get back from New York. I'll put an announcement out, but I got to get through this next week. Let me get through this next week. We're trying to do once a month, so probably towards the end of this month. Anything else? Any other questions? We'll leave it open for another minute or two and see if we have any other questions. We've done for almost an hour again. Y'all, I got limited energy. It's my last energy drink, you guys. This is my last one. When this one's gone, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on. I'm going to get coffee or something. I can still do coffee. I just can't do energy drinks because they are sweeteners. Yep. I'm going to focus on me. I've got Sundays with Shawn this weekend. And then starting after that, I'll be doing admin stuff and everything that Monday, Tuesday. And then from Wednesday on, it's all about me. From Wednesday on, it's all about me. Sorry, guys. It's all about me from Wednesday on. This jacket every color? This one? Yes, because this is what we tested for Cuties Conquering the Stage. We tested various colors. So yes, I do. I have it in every color. Wishing you all the best. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I'll still keep up with posting check-ins and all that stuff. Don't worry. You know, when you run your own business, it's not like you can turn it off. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm like Jennifer asked me, she's like, I can't believe you're doing an SWS the week of your show. I'm like, well, I have to keep busy or I would probably shoot myself. So, you know, I have to keep working. Again, going back to I've always got to keep being better at everything I do. So I won't just drop off the face of the earth. That won't happen. Yes, glad you're taking it. Yes. Thank you. I'm excited for me too. I just, you know, like I was saying in my interview with JM, the last time I did New York Pro, it was terrible. It was my worst show I've ever done in my life. So it can only go up from there. That's what's just so excited for you. Always admired how you practice what you preach. Thank you. Yes, I try. I do my very best. Can't say that I'm always on it, but I do my very best. We all have our moments, right? Cuties love you even more for that giving spirit. Well, that's why we are successful. That's why the cuties, we are successful because we keep pushing and giving, and we never let up. You know, that's why. All right, you guys. And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. I've been looking at I am live on YouTube too, but I haven't seen any comments come in on YouTube. So I don't know if it's like I saw a different setting come up when I logged on. And I don't know if it's because I have it monetized now that it's different. I'm not really sure. So sorry guys if I missed something on here. Oh geez. There's the chat. Sorry guys, those of you that were on YouTube, I'm sorry. I just noticed where the comments went to. It's a totally different setup now that I'm monetized on here, and I didn't understand that. Sorry about that, guys. Now I know. Now I'll be able to fix that for future. Conquer. Yes, conquer. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Sorry. So yes, this did go live on YouTube as well. So that you guys know, this was something that was sent to my DMs today too. The comments don't show up on the replay on Instagram. So that's why I do read everybody aloud and stuff like that. But they do show up on YouTube. So whatever was commented during the live does show up on the replay on YouTube, but it does not show up on the replay on Instagram. So just so you know. But yes, I'm excited. So, all right, guys, with that, I am going to let you guys go. I'm going to end out YouTube first. Or not. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to end out.